Hello to everyone, hello! My name is Aleks and today I will watch you the amazing video. This video we will watch today from channel Lost in the Pond, and of course one moment as usual I need to check connection, and yes, I see we are online, and I'm happy to see you, all of you, really. Today we will watch video from channel Lost in the Pond. This video will be about numbers. I'm sure that it will be fun, it will be enjoyable, interesting, and I believe it will be really useful video for me to know, and maybe even useful for you to know. What can I tell? By myself, of course, I didn't use creativity. I was using idea of other YouTubers who is doing video reactions, and I decided, okay, I will watch this video because I was watching Lost in the Pond many times. I think that you know this, and I decided, yeah, I didn't watch his videos for a while. Okay, let's make video screen smaller of myself, and we will start to watch video itself. One moment, we'll do this. Yeah, let's check. Yeah, I will be here, like this guy. It is me sitting here. It is me. Yes. Okay. Can you see me well, I hope? I hope that you can. And I already see messages. Hello from Wildcat. Hello to you. Nice to see you. Thank you for your support. Be strong and be yourself. Hello to Ginger. Hey Alex and Wildcat. How are things? Where you at? What do you mean, where I am? I'm in my studio as I was before. I mean, like, you can see this. Okay. Video from Lost in the Pond. To be honest, I do not remember when last time I was watching his videos. I really do not remember. But yes, it was for a while ago, and I'm sure that it will be kind of like interesting to find out his opinion about numbers, because this video which we will watch, it will be 10 ways Brits and Americans use numbers very differently. That's what I will try to understand. To be honest, I know already some facts, because I know some things, yes, it's happened, that month and day in America people using differently, like just differently. Yeah, that's all. I think that you know this too. But I found this, and I still trying to adjust the system with the months and dates, because in America first goes what? First goes month, August 9th. Yes, first goes month, and then goes already date, like number of month, and then we already writing this amazing year. And yes, hello to everyone who joined now. Hello to Sam Smith Q. Thank you a lot for your support. Heart to you. Thank you a lot. I appreciate this. Hello to Heather. Hello all. Good to see you in usual form. Yes. What can I say? What can I say? Let's start doing this. To be honest, I didn't prepare today no coffee, no tea, because I want to drink something cold. And from cold, water you can have cold. Of course, something from refrigerator. That's why I decided to drink something what is about energy and 0 calories, sugars, 0 sugar in this. And plus it is kind of for hydration. That's what I need. Okay, let's go, let's jump, let's do this.
Don't mind me, just using the calculator on my phone, which I keep in my pocket just to stick it to my year 10 maths teacher who told me that I'd never have such luxury. And
I like when people do this, when people confident. I like this thing, and you can see confidence can be different, and sometimes people can differently to show this. For example, he is not afraid to show this on camera that he had these problems, not problems, but bad haircut, like hairstyle, and I'm like, okay. I usually every time when I go in front of camera, I usually go to have I don't know, shower. I usually like to use cologne, what I didn't do today, and I need to do this now. Yes, and yeah, that's what usually I do. But like when he's like, wow, he's doing this and he's not bothering himself. Okay, let's go.
Speaking of maths, remember a few videos ago when I said this? A question
By the way, I didn't check our sound. But like when he's like, wow, he's doing this and he's not bothering. Yes, let's look. Okay, let's go. I want to check sound. Yeah, we have sound. Okay, we have sound. I know that. Oh yeah, thank you a lot, because I know sound of this is not okay. Of video can be different. Anyway, let's go. Let's go.
I get all the time is, why do British people say maths instead of math? Well, when it comes to Britain and America, this is by no means the only difference that involves numbers. In fact, since I moved to the United States, my daily life has become filled with numeric anomalies with which my brain may never come to terms. Now, before I get into that, I do want to point out that this video will not be examining our two countries' different measuring systems, because I also did that in a previous video. And while we're on the subject
Yes, I need to watch definitely this video about measurements, because I don't know. It must be something interesting for me. I mean, like, I don't know. Maybe I have problems with ounces and pounds, because I don't know. I'm not using them every time. I'm not using this, and still already 2 years living here. Only inches. I'm starting to adjust inches and feet, these things. That I think that I'm understanding. Yeah.
Because I also did that in a previous video. And while we're on the subject of numbers, if you want to propel this channel to 1 million subscribers and you haven't yet become one yourself, do that now. In the meantime, here are 10 ways that British and American people use numbers very differently. Now, before I hit record on today's video, I did a little bit of a tally as to how many places I've lived in either country. During the 26 years that I lived in Britain, I lived at
Wow,
precisely...
that's how he was looking? I don't know, he doesn't look like British here. He looks more like a guy who definitely not British. Yeah, more, I don't know. Russian? Or not Russian, but maybe guy from Turkey? I don't know. But difficult to say that he's a British guy by this photo. Wow. Hello to everyone, and sorry, but 6 inches is embarrassing. uh, Davidoff cologne is lovely. I have, by the way, on my Amazon wish list Davidoff cologne. If you want to buy me, why not? I will be happy to use it. To be honest, I have on Amazon wish list a lot of amazing stuff which you can just make me happy. You can support me by Amazon wish list, and to be honest, all of this stuff which I have there, I need this, like needs and needs. Yes. um
5 addresses compared to 9 during the 16 years that I've lived in America. And during that time, one major pattern has stood out to me. American addresses definitely have longer house numbers, but British addresses have longer postcodes. So it all evens out. In fact, let me give you some examples of what I mean. From memory, every single address that I had in Britain comprised of 2 digits. And pound for pound, the experience of most British people is that their house address won't ever exceed 3 digits. There are occasional exceptions to that.
yeah. Of course, this digit part, it is very important in many ways, I know. And I know, well, like in JD class, we are studying about numbers, and we are studying about measuring things. Yes, we did this, and it's yeah, a little bit complicated. Not yeah, it's just a little thing which, I don't know, can be a little bit complicated sometimes. Yeah. um One moment.
But in America, those exceptions seem to in fact be the...
Well, yes. I'm sorry, I just received messages, and exactly when, yeah, when I started live stream, I was like, what the hell? Yeah, that's so sorry. I'm sorry for this.
exceed 3 digits. There are occasional exceptions to that, but in America those exceptions seem to in fact be the rule. Because at virtually all of the places that I've lived in the US, the house or the apartment number has been in the thousands. And also at some of these addresses, the American street name itself might contain a number, like 321st Avenue. They don't usually go that high. But
yeah, by the way, I didn't know. I was not noticing these parts that square, like feet in America then can be in thousands. Like that's what yeah, it is quite interesting thing. I was not. How many times I was watching these videos like about apartments by myself, and how many times I was looking apartments and studios in Houston and in Chicago, in New York, and I was not paying attention towards this. I don't know why, like that it can be like in 1,000 square feet. Yeah.
street. In Britain, a street that's also a number is very uncommon to the extent that I'm not sure they even exist. However, as I said, Britain has America beat when it comes to the size of our postcodes. And if for whatever reason you're confused by the term postcode, it is simply what Americans know as a zip code. You see, in Britain, a postcode...
Postcode. I think that I usually, yes, I was thinking always postcode. Yeah, I was the first time confused with the zip code. Yes, I think yes, because when I was not me, but by help of Heather, we were creating this PO box for your letters, for your different how it's called presents which I was receiving, gifts. Yeah, we had them. I was asking. I remember this. Like you need to know zip code of this place. I don't know, and I'm like, wow, it is interesting thing. Before I know that I was thinking more like as postcode. Yeah, too. Maybe one of the thing because I was studying more British English, and as a result, I'm like, yes, that makes sense.
Code can range from 6 to 8 characters, where in the US it's just 5.
Yeah, I'm comparing this situation with Russian. They call this sometimes почтовый index or just index. I think it is well known around everywhere. Information, yes, index. That's how they call this. I think they were using почтовый code, or like maybe a century ago in Russia. Now they call this index. And also, it usually has 5 numbers too, like in America. But terminology, despite that America and Britain are using the same language, how it can be, but terminology can be completely different. I'm like, what the hell? Yes, and of course I need to tell hello to everyone who joined only now. Thank you a lot for your support. Yes, I'm happy to see all of you. And yeah, I'm excited to see all of you. You can support me by giving donations on PayPal directly. Today I'm advertising my PayPal. It's just happened. And plus, additionally, you can support on Amazon wishlist. I have amazing list of stuff which I think quite good to have. Aleks has no idea what is going on. Wildcats, I have no idea what is going on. I have no idea, seriously, because I kind of a little bit inside of the video. Yes. In the middle of the video, yes. Yeah. Hello, by the way, to everyone who joined now. Nice to see you. Hello to... Oh, I need to do this again. Oh, my cam. Yes. Hello to Sam K. Nice to see you. Hello, Sam K. Hello to you. Okay, let's go.
Code. You see, in Britain, a postcode can range from 6 to 8 characters, where in the US it's just 5. However, notice there that I said characters and not numbers. Well, since this video is all about numbers, there is something to keep in mind here. British postcodes are a combination of letters and numbers, meaning that American zip codes probably have more numbers, but that's what.
What the hell is happening in Great Britain? Or Britain, whatever. I had no idea that they're using numbers. Are you serious, Carl? I had no idea completely. I think it is quite strange. AA 000 UK.
Whatever. The first.
Like, yeah, they can have a lot of letters.
letters in a UK postcode denote the postal region. So for example, where I grew up in Grimsby, that was part of the Doncaster postal code for some reason. So the first two letters are DN. And then you have a series of numbers and letters that denote a more precise location. And that's it. In America, it's just numbers, so that's easy. And basically, the first couple of digits are arranged by state. So here in the state of Illinois, those first two digits range from 60 to 62. Of course.
Yes, so you can see this example how, like, you can see Illinois has these numbers. Can you? Yeah, you can. But why UK so different? I'm not understanding this. They have really complicated system in UK. I would expect this more complicated system in zip codes or postcodes more complicated in America, but it turns out it is close to Russia. Like, it's basically the same. In Russia they call this index, but come on, it is another language. And number two, they have, like, usually in Russia 5 numbers, 2, like in America. In the UK, I'm surprised why they went into by this way. Kind of strange, really.
Range from 60 to 62. Of course, when it comes to the size of your house number, there's one group of people who don't give a flying herd of badgers, and that's data brokers.
Instead, they're so preoccupied with making bank from selling your address to people search sites. After buying my first American house, I started showing up on hundreds of them. How do I know? Because each instance was identified by today's sponsor, Incogni. Incogni is a personal data removal tool that not only gets in touch with those data brokers,
but his advertisement always interesting to watch. And I see your messages. By the way, hello to Heather. Thank you a lot, heart to you. Thank you, appreciate your support. It means a lot for me. And yes, I always liked my sister's former-in-law address in Yorkshire. They don't have a house number, but rather a house name, Ivy Cottage, or something like this. I think that, it is. That means that you knew about these differences in zip codes or postcodes. Wow, I didn't know at all. Wow, thank you for sharing. I think that on the other hand, how I would know? I never was in the UK. I mean,
but requests that they take down your data.
And it works too. Incogni very quickly worked its magic and I was removed from all of the sites in question. And for a YouTube sensation like me, or for people with real jobs, nobody has time to manually submit removal requests alone.
In fact, who knows, maybe data brokers rely on this to break your spirit. The point is, Incogni raises mine. If your personal details are showing up on people search websites, Incogni will help you remove them. In fact, they're giving my subscribers lost in the pond to get your discount and to thereafter protect your data. The link is in my description below.
Below.
Spawn Fitness is a home fitness.
So much advertisement. I skipped one and have another one. Okay.
Series of digits over which Britain has America beat is phone numbers, actually. Typically speaking, if we're not calling from overseas, in which we would need to use a country code, then a UK phone number usually consists of 11 digits.
Oh, yes, 11 digits. Same 11 digits. No? In Russia, no? Oh, no. No, in Russia, they have this +7. +7 it is codes. In America it is +1. In Russia it is +7. And they're like 3 plus 8 digits? No. I will write down. I need to think. Where's my... I will look for this. For example, +7 7 then. It's like 3 plus 3 is 6 plus 10 10. 4 plus 6 10 11 digits. 11 digits they have in Russia. 11 in America. 10. Why? Plus 1 you're not counting? Yes.
US phone numbers, meanwhile, consist of 10, basically 2 zip codes put together. The major difference here comes in the area code. For the first 20 years of my life, growing up in Grimsby, my area code was 01472, 5
What the
digits.
hell?
But it's worth keeping in mind that that only applies to landline phones. In the last 25 years, of course, we've seen the rise of the mobile phone and/or calculator. In Britain, unlike with landline phones, these are not assigned an area code. In fact, I think most, if not all, mobile phones in the UK begin with the digits 07. Incidentally, those are 2 digits that are going to be very important later on in this video, so keep watching.
I think that it is why it's so complicated. Are you serious? 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11. 07? Why? It makes no sense. In Russia it is plus 7. I have no idea why it is so like completely strange. Yes, postal codes in the UK are more precise than the US zip codes. Maybe because they have these letters and they have these actual names, but I think it is like a system in many ways. You can see zip codes. One, for example, area has one zip code, and this area has own post office. For example, it's like in Russia, it is working like this. When you are sending a letter from your place to another place, every postal office has own zip code, and usually people can find this easier because you can find these big numbers somewhere on the background, like they have these big numbers because people so often asking questions like what is our zip code, or they call this in Russia index. What is our index when they're sending, because sometimes people writing letters inside of this post office and they're like, oh, they see like, yeah, I see, thank you. But yeah, it is interesting thing. Here in Houston, when I was in postal office, postal office, or like a thing where I was picking up your letters and your presence of that. It is very interesting and pleasant for me to go to post office, and I didn't see, at least now I remember, I do not see these big numbers like all of zip code. Probably everyone knows like zip code of this place, but yeah, I don't know. Quite interesting thing. Maybe they have this, just I was not paying attention towards this. Next time when I will go, I will check and I will say.
7. Incidentally, those are 2 digits that are going to be very important later on in this video, so keep watching. In America, I was surprised to find that this was quite different, because your mobile, or cell phone as it's usually known in the US, will usually carry the same area code as your landline phone, if you still have a landline phone.
Seriously?
So for example, the first place that I lived was Anderson, Indiana, and that city is in a region of Indiana that carries the area code 765. So all
In my entire life, I never used, how he said this, landline phones. I never was using landline phones in my entire life. I have no idea how it's happened, why I never used. I don't know I mean, I saw these old phones, like people. I was probably they were like old toys. People were using them as old toys, like people. I don't know, children were using them, but I never used this like actually. I don't know.
All of the landlines there begin 765,
Yeah, it is very interesting.
and if you purchase your cell phone there, most likely that too will have the same area code. And most states, like Indiana and my current state of Illinois,
It's
are home
convenient.
to multiple area codes, which is why it was surprising to discover there are in fact 12 states, including the behemoth that is Alaska, that have just one. And that's because said states have more cows than people, probably.
Yeah, more cows than people. I don't know. Like Alaska, it's quite a huge.
States have more cows than people.
moment.
In fact, 12 states.
You can see 900. Yes, Alaska is huge state, enormous state, and yeah, it makes sense somehow to have one zip code. I think it makes really sense.
States, including the behemoth that is Alaska, that have just one. And that's because said states have more cows than people, probably.
Great.
Earlier
levels.
on, when I said this, just to stick it to my Year 10 maths teacher who told me that I'd never have such luxury, it did occur to me that my thousands of American viewers might have been thinking, what's Year 10? Was Lawrence born in the 1st century? No. A year in this instance is the equivalent of what Americans would call a grade at school. And it just happens that this particular example is a year populated by 14 to 15-year-olds. And you might be thinking, ooh, Lawrence, that's not 10, that's grade 9. Well, actually, it's both, you see, from between the ages of 5 to 6.
Yes, let's look. Britain. Reception. What the hell? British versus American school. I'm not understanding this system. Year 1, it is like your 5th, 6th age, 5 or 6. Year 2, 6, 7. Okay.
6 British children begin what is known as Year 1. But as I discovered while watching the documentary The Kindergarten Cop, Americans don't call that the 1st grade, they call it kindergarten. And so
Kindergarten, garden. Preschool. Yeah, he has this, he opened this because, yeah, America has preschool, kindergarten, first, yeah, in first grade, second grade, third, 8th, 9th, 11th, 12th. Yes, I believe that in Russia it is closer American style. I see this. Because Russia, I was studying until I had education at school. I was studying until 9th grade, and then after 9th grade, I already went to college, and then after I had already university, something like this. Hello to everyone who joined now. Thank you a lot for your messages. Thank you, Sarah Winter. Hello, hi Aleks. Thank you. It is very kind from you. Thank you. I appreciate this. Ginger, you said my grandma had a rotary phone. I remember using it. A rotary phone, when you're doing these movements, every time when you're pressing a number, you're putting inside of this finger and you're like plastic stuff and you're doing this circle thing, yes? Okay. I didn't want to look this like a little bit strange when I was explaining, but yes, you have this circle plastic, you making these zhin movements. I don't know. Thank you. A rotary phone. What genius put 9 digits at the end? No, hold on, Mr. Criminal, while the phone totally. I have no idea, SMK, what you said in your message. Really completely lost. I was lost. Samsung keyboard is way too small altogether. Okay, I went to early school in 1971. God, I am old. Okay, I think that we all will be old one day. One day it is normal. It is normal to have to be like different ages. Okay, what I wanted to tell, you cannot see below my face is here. Yes. Okay, you can see now. In America, you can see 9th grade, 10th grade, sophomore, very strange. 11th grade, junior, and 12th grade, I don't see, what does it mean? Senior, it means. 12th grade means senior. Alex want to know rotary phone and why it takes so long. I'm old enough though. I need to look. I don't know. Maybe I misunderstand. What does it mean, rotary phone? Rotary phone. Let's look. I was right. But I know. Wow, look at this stylish. Where is it? Oh my god, it looks nice. Can you see this? I like it. Can you imagine when you have, instead of ordinary mobile phone, such metal parts? Wow, Sam K, thank you for your super chat. Thank you a lot. You made Eagle flying, because yes, I forget to tell that you can make Eagle flying today. It would be really amazing support of my channel. It will be amazing help for me personally. Yeah, I really need this support right now. Thank you, Sam K. Yes, you can see this rotary. Wow, I like this style, by the way. Looks crazy nice. But you will not be able to message anything. Yes, sorry, Alex, for the bad typing. Tiny keyboard. You don't worry. Be happy. Don't worry. And yes, you can find different styles of such rotary. Of course, I didn't use them. This one looks crazy and stylish. Why I cannot open just picture? Yeah, I like this style. Oh, Wildcats! You are very supportive. Thank you for $25. But you send this in pound, in funt. Is it funt? Yes. Thank you a lot. Thank you. Be strong, be yourself. I appreciate this. And hello to everyone who joined now. Hello to Lauren Praznensky. Heart to you. Thank you a lot. I appreciate your messages and your supports. Hello to Ken Phoebe. Hello. Howdy. Gosh, I always do this mistake with howdy. Y'all. We are doing amazing. Thank you a lot for your support. Heart to you. Be strong. I appreciate your support. And yes, I never used such phones. My first phone, if I'm not mistaken, was when I was 15 or 16 years old. 15 or maybe 14. No, 15. I don't remember. But it was already when I was teenager. if I will tell that I was living without internet, it will be absolutely true. I didn't live with internet. I was living in village of far east of Russia, Primorsky region, and yes, so I was living there, and we didn't have the internet. What we had there, it is TV. TV. I mean, like, I do not think that there you will be able to find internet like cable internet. You will not find even now, because it is like who will. It is village people live in these villages. I don't know if this village. Yeah, not some. I know that majority of people moving from villages in Russia to live in cities. Yeah, yeah. Maybe they have mobile internet. Maybe, who knows?
Their numbering system is always one behind us. Oh, and speaking of years, that brings us on to this. I think at this point...
Yes, of course, I knew that he will talk about this because dates, it is something interesting. I sometimes now messing with this, and sometimes I'm looking, for example, on my computer I have dates, and you can imagine that these dates I have in American way, because come on, I'm in America, I'm in Houston, and of course, let's be honest, sometimes I'm looking and I'm not understanding. Like, I need to think. Oh, thank you. Lorian Prazdensky, thank you for super chat. You made eagle flying. Thank you a lot. I appreciate this. You be strong, be yourself. I appreciate your support. Every live stream you are trying to give $5, $10, a little bit, step by step. You're helping me, and I appreciate this a lot. For me, it is like, wow. I love this. I'm strong and I will be myself, Aleks. Thanks, buddy. Yes, it's always important. Be strong and be yourself. What can I say? Every time when I'm using a calendar on my desktop, I prefer to open this when I will be able to see exactly how it is written and number, day of month, because by itself just numbers, I notice that I can sometimes do mistake. And for example, when I was going to some places where you need to fulfill some form, I did mistakes, I remember. And I was asking, before writing, I started to ask, first, what I need to do, what I need to write first, month of date. I was asking people when I remember I was fulfilling some form, and they looked at me like, of course, like date. Like, but in some places they like, first, yes, you need to put month, yes. And I'm like, yeah, it is kind of interesting thing. It is very important. Yeah, you need to be careful because sometimes in America, generally everywhere, first date, month, first goes month, date, yeah, generally, but sometimes they can do this internationally, like everywhere. Yes, I don't know, it is what it is. Okay, let's go. I will try to read your comments now. Let's try, because I saw the word, such a word like parties. Yeah, and I have never been on a date. You have never been on a date? Wow. These days, to be honest, I like I want to have relationships, stuff like this, but I'm so every time something is happening in my life, and I cannot think about relationships at all because something will happen in my life that I need to prioritize. As a result, I'm like, gosh, Alex, of course I do not have time now for any relationships because, come on, yeah, every time something will happen when you like, God. And you said, Wildcat, I have only been to bars and met people. I like, I know, I can say about bars. I like this environment, like bars, when you can chat with people too. But I do not like to drink. I think that it can be too loud. It is a bad place for, I don't know, for conversations. Like for normal conversation, like to, I usually like to hear people. I like to, I prefer cafes. Cafe where you can sit, drink coffee, where you can just to talk, to make jokes. That's I prefer more. But bars, yeah, it depends. I find parties are the best place. Maybe. Okay, let's go.
I think most of us are probably aware that Britain and America can't agree on how to write the date. Obviously, in Britain, it's day first, month second, and
Yeah.
year last. As evidenced by our famous Guy Fawkes slogan, remember, remember, the 5th of November. Whereas in America, of course, it's flipped, as evidenced by July the 4th.
What he said, remember the 5th of November? What does it mean?
As evidenced by our famous Guy Fawkes slogan, remember, remember, the 5th of November. Whereas in
Remember the 5th of November. Remember the 5th of November. I never heard this phrase. Gosh. Remember the 5th of November. Then count the gunpowder treason and plot. I know of no reason why the gunpowder treason should ever be forgot. What the hell is that? Should ever Guy Fawkes and his companions see the scheme contrive to blow the king and parliament all up alive, 70 barrels laid below, to prove old England's overthrow. What the hell is that? I have no idea. What is that? I will ask like I think. The Guy Fawkes Night. Bonfire Night and Fireworks Night is an annual commemoration observed on November 5th, primarily in Great Britain, involving bonfires and fireworks displays. Its history begins with the events of 5th November 1605. When the Guy Fawkes, a member of the this organization Gunpowder Plot, was arrested while guarding explosive. Yeah, I got it. It has history behind. Okay. Never heard about this, and yeah. Ginger said Revolutionary War. Oh, thank you. Never mind. I was wrong. It was, yeah, yes, it was. I was like thinking, like, I saw that something was different there. Okay.
In America, of course, it's flipped, as evidenced by July the 4th. Americans usually say the 4th of July. I don't know why they do that. But for everything else, it's the month first and the day
The
second.
4th of July. July 4th. July 4th. The 4th of July. Yes, in America, people usually say one moment.
July the 4th. Americans usually say the 4th of July.
The 4th of July, but it is not American way to write dates, and that's why it is strange, because usually in America, first month, then dates. That's why, like, why the 4th of July, not July 4th? Maybe, I don't know. It's a good question. Reasonable, isn't it?
I don't know why they do that, but for everything else, it's the month first and the day second. Why do they do that? Well, you'll just have to watch my YouTube short all about it. One of my longtime patrons, Jeff, asked me on this week's secret live stream. In the US, most people have memorized their phone numbers and social security numbers. What personal numbers are people expected to know in Britain? And phone numbers
I think it is quite good question, because I have now social security card number, I don't know, and I didn't know how it is important thing. I never knew about such let's say, like, piece of paper because I never knew about this. How I would know that it is, but now, and I know that, notice that usually people know their social security card number, like they know this by memory. I do not know mine. Or maybe after years I will know, because yeah, I do not remember. I still sometime, like first half, maybe first year, I was messing mine Russian number with a phone number, with American phone number, and like, what the hell? I was like messing this, and now I'm started to memorize my number, phone number, I mean, but social security number, I think that I do not remember for sure. Yes, I am a Muppet. What is happening now, Eagle community? Wildcat, since when are you a Muppet? Yes, I will remember you, Heart. Ken Fib. Thank you. Who you will remember, but yes, I think that you're chatting with yourself there. You have fun for sure. Okay, let's go.
used to be one of those until we didn't need to anymore. But our equivalent of America's social security number is our national insurance number, or as it's known intimately to me, NIN. Nobody.
National insurance number cards. Joy and Summer. This is not proof of identity. Department for Work and Pensions. I really like pensions. It's like they have this word too, like in Russia, pensions. Wow. In America, I don't know what's the word for pensions. Retirement? Yes? No? I don't know.
Or, as it's known intimately to me,
That's cute.
NIN. Nobody calls it that, really. So, what are the major numerical differences between an
Nin.
SSN and a NIN? Well, for once, it isn't the number of characters, because an SSN has 9 and a NIN has 9. Try saying that after 7 white Russians. But the difference here is similar, has
what?
9, and a NIN has 9. Try saying that after 7 white Russians. But the difference here is similar to zip code.
What does it
SSN
mean?
has 9 and a NIN has 9. Try saying that after 7 white Russians.
Try sign that after 7 white Russians? I don't know what does it mean. After 7 white Russians.
But the difference here is similar to zip codes versus postcodes. A NIN is comprised of 2 letters, followed by 6 numbers, and another letter for good measure. In the US...
Why they so for good measure? And another letter for good measure. I think yeah, he has sense of humor. Just why they so obsessed with the combinations of letters and numbers together? I don't know. Number and E. That's why he said it's nin. Number, but I do not get. If it is number, why you have here letters?
Numbers and another letter for good measure. In the US, it's all numbers. America doesn't like letters. The first set of 3 digits is the...
Oh yeah, in America that's usually how looks social security card, yeah, and this number has been established for... Of course, it is just a random thing, I believe he found on the internet. And it is without signature. Yeah, and thank you, Ginger, for explanation. White Russians is a mixed drink. I forgot what's all in it. Oh yeah, maybe because I'm not drinking, I'm like, gosh, very interesting thing. But yeah, maybe because I'm not drinking, I do not have this culture of drinking in my life. I mean, like, by myself, I'm not drinking, and that's why. But in Russia, people usually like to drink. I think, like, I don't know.
The area number, the second set of 2 digits is the group number, and then the final set of 4 digits is the serial number. We all care about that, obviously. The point is, I have both a NIN and an SSN, so I'm special.
Okay.
Your father knows about...
Yes, it is. It means he has to double citizenship. Yeah, it is nice.
Is it real? Oh, that's a different video. Well, sometimes, to people like me who've lived on 3 different time zones, time can feel like it's ahead of its time. So I don't want to get bogged down in that, because there are other differences to talk about, namely how we tell the time. For instance, in Britain, if the time is 9:15, we might well say it's 9:15. In America...
That's how I was studying in English lessons, 9:15, stuff like this. But now I'm adjusting, and I was always like a little bit messing with this. AM and PM. Yes. PM it is during the day and evening, and AM it is like night and morning. That's how I explain this to myself. Obviously, I am not this person who will teach you how to say time in English. I mean, in American English, let's say like this, in American culture. But for example, when I was talking with my friend Anton, he's studying English, and they using, I noticed, British English. That's how they study there. And interesting thing, they were talking about quarters, about 5 times before 11, like 5 minutes without something, I don't know, or I don't know. The fact is that I told to Anton, and in America usually people tell this. For example, 3:20 p.m., for example, or 9 a.m. When you say this a.m., you automatically know this period. And yeah, that's how I am trying to understand for myself. And yes, Wildcat said, Aleks has deleted one of my comments. Cool, Aleks. What did I delete? Did you see that I was deleting something I was talking all this time? I did not delete anything. Let's be honest. I was completely in conversation. And yes, a white Russian is half vodka and half milk, Alex. Thank you for this explanation. Very popular with American alcoholics. What the hell? I didn't go to the bars like for already 2 years. Soon will be like I'm in Houston. I didn't go to the bars, and yeah, it's very interesting thing. Maybe in future I will find out what does it mean to be an American bar. Yeah.
Okay, you often hear a quarter after 9, and similarly, Brits might refer to 9:30 as half 9, whereas Americans might say 9:30. But the biggest difference between British and American digital clocks can be seen once we get to 1 o'clock in the afternoon. At that point, in America, clocks will simply say 1 o'clock. But not in Britain, where it suddenly goes from 12:59 to 13 o'clock. And that's because British clocks are on military time. And when I lived in Britain, I never knew this as military time. In fact, it was Americans that alerted me to this term.
Let's be honest, I never knew this too. In Russia, they have this 24 hours, and I'm like, military time? What the hell? Why? But yes, in Russia, they're using the same way like in Britain. It is one of the things what I used to do. For it is easier for me was all my life, like I was using this British way of telling time. That's, for example, instead of telling 3 p.m. You need to say 15, like 15 hours. I don't know. Sam Smith Q, thank you for sharing with your message. And you said there is also a drink called Black Russian. Wow, there was some Black Russian, I remember, but I didn't know that there was like, of course, yeah, when you do not drink, how would you know? Yes, thank you for sharing, Sam Smith Q. This is a teaching moment. Tell me more about alcohol. What can you say here? Yes.
I just thought of it as time, like the whole world does this. And now that I know that it is military time, I'm confused that America doesn't do it, because they have the biggest military in the world. And then I found that the US military does do it, but the general public doesn't. Either way, to this very day, I instinctively know that 7 p.m. in the evening, that last word was redundant, is equal to 19 o'clock. I should point out
7 p.m. Yes, like 19 o'clock, or yes, that's how usually people use time in Russia. Yes,
British people don't go around saying 19 o'clock. In conversation, we would say 7, which makes it even weirder, I suppose, that our clocks don't do that.
Yes.
But anyway, a moment ago when I was talking about quarters, there was one thing that I forgot to mention, because it wasn't quite relevant yet, and that's how the two countries refer to a quarter, as in the fraction. Because I've noticed that Americans, like my wife for example, use the words quarter and 1/4 interchangeably. But having grown up in Britain, 1/4 always sounds weird to me, because then we would only say quarter in that context. But I'm afraid
1/4 and quarter, it's all the same. I mean, for me, in my mind, it's all the same. Good night all. Thanks, Aleks, for deleting my comments. I thought this was a free speech now. Okay, I got you. Good night to you too.
that I'm going to have to interrupt myself there with a couple of caveats. The first of those is we don't have special words for other fractions except for half, but then again if you were to say 1/2, you could get confused with the time. And the other thing that might explain why Americans often plump for 1/4 is that a quarter is already part of the national dialogue, because that's the name of an American coin of the same name. Did you edit this? And I want to
Zero.
finish this video by talking about three numbers in particular, the first of which is 0. Is 0 a number? I'm no mathematician. And 0 is an interesting one to me because both countries have synonyms of the word zero that the other country doesn't have. In America, somebody might say, I got zilch, as in I've got nothing. Whereas Britain's alternatives for this nice round number are often context
I
dependent.
didn't understand this at all. I got zilch. What did you...
Zilch, as in I've got nothing. Whereas Britain's alternatives for this nice round
I got zilch as in I've got nothing where... What does it mean? Zilch. Zilch, let's look.
Zilch.
I got zilch. Oops. Yeah, I don't know. As I've got nothing. Okay, I didn't understand anyway. If you know, zilch can mean nothing. Oh, thank you. I've got nothing. Whereas, thank you for this explanation, Ken. I appreciate. Zilch can mean nothing. Okay. It's probably some slang, something related to slang because.
Britain's alternatives for this nice round number are often context dependent. Firstly, you've got nil, which you often find in sports, as in Grimsby Town Football Club won the FA Cup final 6-0, whereas American commentators are more likely to say 6-0 or 6.
Nil? Never heard this too, never. I mean, nil, it is, yeah. Nil, seriously?
Nil.
Are you serious? Wow.
6-0. And then there's the word naught, which from memory is what I called 0 when I was a little kid. But it's also used in the title of a game that Americans call tic-tac-toe, a game that we call noughts and crosses. And
Noughts and crosses, I've heard this, but I never heard this.
a game that Americans call tic-tac-toe.
Tic-tac-toe? Are you serious? Tic-tac-toe. It's a nonsense word. Zilch can mean nothing. It is a nonsense word. Wow, I think that it is very like... I think like maybe children, they can create words and sounds like... Wow. Quite, yeah. Tic-tac-toe.
A game that we call noughts and crosses. And
Noughts and crosses. Because it is noughts and crosses, because it is like a game about like all actions happen on ocean, in sea, I don't know. Tic-tac-toe is fun. Yes, it is definitely fun. I completely agree with you, it is.
remember earlier when I said this? My area code was 01472. This use of O to denote 0 in phone numbers is not something you often hear in America, where the preferred option would be 01472.
Plus, additionally, I know, yes, I like they can say O in America, O, and I was like, I was not understanding pretty often. O, what the hell? Zilch is like watch call it. What? Watch Khalid or discombobulate. These words are fun. I highly recommend them. Why I can use them? I don't know. Watch come. When I will tell them, people will like, what the hell are you talking about? I will forget what I'm talking about when I will use these two long words. Yes.
There were 7.
But it sounds fun. Disco. Gosh, I say dica. No, disco. Discombobulate.
2 actually, but 7 is one of them. Here in the United States, the number 7 is almost always written with one horizontal stroke and one diagonal stroke. But as many observant Americans have often pointed out to me, this is not always the case in Britain, where
Yes, that's how I noticed this thing. I noticed this thing in our GD class. I wrote 7. Like on the desk, teacher, she wrote 7. And for me, it looked like 1, number 1. And I was like, what? Because I usually using this British version, I don't know, all my life, 7, it is 7. But she wrote this equation and she was like, I was like, is it 1? If it's 1, why you writing this 1? I don't know. But then she actually wrote 1. She was using just a little, like, how it's called, vertical line. Yes. Hello to Eunice. Hello. O can be short from form of 0. O can be short of form of 0. Yeah, it can, like, but I'm still confused where I should use O, in which situations. Yeah, I'm confused. But thank you. And by the way, heart to you, Eunice. Thank you a lot for your messages and for your support. Nice to see you always. Yeah, so that's what happened with me. 7, I was confused, and that was with letter G. I was confused, yes, too. When teacher was writing down in our GD class, I was confused because how she was writing this G. For me, it was looking more like Q, like this Q, and as a result, no. There was no. I'm mistaken. There was a number 9, and she wrote this like Q, and I was thinking it is like she didn't do this line. Maybe you know what I'm talking about. And because I was thinking it is letter. Yes, that's what happened. Yeah. And I'm like, again? And that's, and plus X, the way how she was writing this X. I know X like it is like a cross, that's all. Nothing else. But the way how she was writing this on the desk, I'm like, what is that? For me, it was looking like, I don't know, Latin alphabets. I don't know, this sign how she was writing. Yeah, it's kind of confusing.
To that, we like to add another horizontal stroke through the middle. And you might be thinking, why do you do that? And the answer is simple: to avoid confusion with the number 1. And to all of the Americans laughing at this idea, 7-Eleven agrees with me. I've just realised that's probably not an argument in my favour.
Billion.
And finally, how do you define 1 billion? Well, most people today who have a grasp of big numbers would tell you 1,000 million, but try telling that to British people from before the 70s. And that's because before 1974, British people, as well as a host of other countries, defined a billion as 1 million million, otherwise known as a long billion, or more commonly, a trillion. And you might be
billion and trillion, I think it is kind of different things.
Thinking, what did those British people call 1,000 million? And the answer is simple: 1,000 million. However, all of this ceased to be the case when we followed the American example, a decision that was taken by 69th UK Prime Minister Harold Wilson, not to be confused with 67th UK Prime Minister Harold Wilson. That said, most European countries actually still operate under the long billion, which makes you wonder, is Luxembourg the richest country just because it keeps adding on 3 zeros? I've no idea. Well, if I've learned anything today, it's that both countries have a very different set of numbers and occasionally letters. And for somebody who's already not very good at maths, this video has really made me miss my word videos. Anyway, thank you to my ponderers with whom I recently discussed this topic.
Yeah, thank you a lot, of course, to Lost in the Pond for this video. I think that I gained a lot of information, and let's be honest, I'm this kind of guy who is trying to understand what is happening, how different American culture, and for me personally, it's always confusing, and pretty often I'm finding new information for me. Sometimes like repetition and like you looking at this, yes. I have experience already with these numbers. Like you said, I write can, you said Fib. I write them that way too. Yeah, I mean, in my situation, I'm writing like nine, like this looks completely. But I was thinking that it looks completely different when teacher was writing, and I'm like, no, I'm not understanding at all. Is it 7 or 1, or is it 1 or 7, or is it G or 9, or maybe it is Q? I had no idea what was written on desk when we had math. Like we did some equations, and I was like, I looked in notebook of person. She close to me was sitting classmates, and she was writing this down, and I'm like, okay, can I look? Because that's how I found out that these differences. But as for now, thank you all of you for your support, because for me it was interesting, enjoyable, just interesting to find these differences. Yeah, I found out about many things that postal codes in Britain they have with the letters, and I think it is kind of really strange. Why just not to have 5 numbers? Yeah, but it's just the way how they do them in Britain. But here in America, I want to tell you that you can find a lot of quite unusual things too in the numbers, which you need just time to understand how to write them down or how to pronounce them. In my situation, because I started JD classes, I'm in process of memorizing these, because in order to survive yeah, you need to know it is basics. But yes, as for now, thank you all of you for your support. Thank you for your flying eagles. I appreciate this. You are amazing. Thank you. And you can find my Amazon wish list. I have there a lot of colognes, stuff like this, and a lot of other different things which I need. But as for now, yes, what can I say? Be yourself, be strong. Yes, I appreciate all of your support. You are amazing. And yeah, as always, I want to tell you, see you next time.